here tonight with Cole Brown, the owner and operator of Longview Land Clearing, and we're gonna do a little interview with him. Okay, so Cole, what made you decide to open up your own business?
Basically, I worked in retail for about 6 months, I think, at Academy, which was just absolute hell. It was not fun working for other people who I knew I could do a better job with, and just found a nice situation where I get into some kind of land clearing, and it was something I liked, and that's basically what I did.
All right, good stuff. Okay, so how much time and money and planning did you have before you opened up the business and started out?
Basically, the time mainly took up by looking for the correct type of equipment and just the correct implements to get for it. And I got into a Caterpillar machine with a Caterpillar mulching head, and it seemed to work the best for me and what I was comfortable with. And basically all the money went into the payments toward the machine, and had to get a new trailer, and just making sure that my truck could pull it, and that's basically it. After that, it was just some advertising here and there, and that's about it.
So the demand for what you needed to do around here kind of met what
yeah, I'm happy with the demand. It's the demand around here it's kind of a new style of clearing, so it's different and it's new, and people, once they find out about it, that's when it just starts blowing up. People start telling their friends about it just because it's a new style thing, and it helps out. It's better for the environment than regular style clearing, and that's kind of why I got into it, and seems to be a lot of the reason why people like it.
Awesome. So what you use like social media for advertising?
I do. I found that, of course, the best way for me, because it's land clearing, with that kind of stuff you need referrals, and so word of mouth is always the best type of advertiser. Not really the best type of work you can get is where someone you do a good job for, they're going to pass it on to their friend whenever you're clearing land or something like that. Other than that, I use Facebook and Instagram and a website just for the fact that just so that people can see the projects that I've already done, because that helps them. They say, okay, I've heard of this guy, I know he does all right work, and let me see what he does. And you can tell a lot by some pictures and everything. So that's usually what I try to keep up with.
You hear that? Follow this guy on Instagram and Facebook. He's got good pages. Let's see. What kind of licensing requirements do you have to have for the business?
I basically, what it was I got LLC. Just seemed to be the best kind of idea for the business, due to the fact that it's just me working with it now. I didn't have a lot of employees. I don't have any employees. It's just me, and that just seemed to be the simplest way to do it. And other than that, licensing wise, unless I'm in city limits and I'm cutting down a massive tree, I don't need any other type of licensing to cut down. I don't need to be an arborist or something like that. But I still have insurance. I have a $1 million insurance policy on it for just if I mess up someone's
your equipment messes up.
Yeah, I have insurance on the equipment, and then I have insurance for
other people
where I'm working. Yeah. So it's a $1 million insurance policy, and it's that just seemed the best way to do it. You gotta have insurance on it, or else nobody's gonna trust you.
Absolutely. How do you handle theft for any kind of equipment? I know that seems kind of like a big question.
Yeah, I've never had anything stolen, but I've known, I have plenty of people who I know who do this thing who have had stuff stolen. People locking their equipment up in chain link fence, anywhere, and it's still somehow people managed in there to get it. I just try to lock everything up as best as possible, because I've never had theft. But the only thing that I've ever had is people failing to make payment on something. Usually on jobs, if someone's not there when I'm done, I've usually already made them pay some percentage of the price up front, and then if they decide they don't want to pay me in the end, then I'll wait outside of their house if I have to, anything like that. But luckily I haven't had any problem with that. Usually people are pretty honest with, they want to see the finished product, and once they see it, they'll bring you the money. So that's kind of why that's kind of why it's never been a problem for me. So.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be hard for someone to steal a.
Yeah, you got to be
gooseneck trailer there.
pretty ballsy to want to steal that.
What kind of what kind of day-to-day things do you have to do? Just like basic stuff. Like
Basically, day-to-day. With me, it's estimates. I try to push. Whenever I get calls, someone trying to do an estimate, I try to put that on one day during the week. That way, I'm not going back and forth from working and then going to take a look at something. I can just put it on one day, and I can go from here to here to here to here, and give everybody their prices. And then daily, though, with the machine, is the equipment. If I run it all day, I'm blowing it out twice a day, and at the end of the day, I'm doing it. Make sure it's really nice and clean off because they catch on fire pretty easily. And then at the end of the week, I do a full, basically a service where I clean it out really well, make sure it's all greased up, just preventative maintenance kind of stuff. And that's what you have to make sure of if you want the equipment to last, where you can make money with it.
Yep. What's the worst experience you've had while you've been in business? I know it's kind of a funny question.
Worst experience. I think the main I worked for a guy who, I kind of went in there. He made it seem like everything was clean. It's easy to get through, and with this equipment, if you suck up some kind of metal or anything like that, it's really tough to get it out, and it messes up a lot of the parts on the equipment. He made it seem.
I feel like it's hard to mess up your stuff.
Yeah, it'll
easy to mess up your stuff.
You mess up the teeth on them, and you gotta do that. So this guy he just wasn't an easy guy to get along with. He wanted me to follow him around his whole property, hitting different spots along the way, and it seemed like every single time along the way, I would hit some kind of metal. I'd have to get out of it. I have to unroll it, cut it with something, and it just turns a long day into something that's just not even worth the money sometimes. But there's days like that you have to have in order for it to keep going, and you just gotta push through that stuff.
Yeah. Was it like fencing type stuff?
Yeah, no. I've sucked up, wire fencing. I've sucked up rebar. I've sucked up carpets all the time. My least favorite thing is a tire with a rim still on it. So it'll suck up in there, and I got to hook a chain to it to pull it out and stuff. And each tooth that's on the thing that chips up all the wood to clear it all, it costs about $50 a tooth. So every time that one of those breaks, it's always like, why? You get upset after it. But after a while, you just get used to it, and you understand. I can reshape them. I can flip them. Everything. It'll work out.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you could change one thing about how you operate your business, what would it be? If there's anything.
Let's see. As of right now, the thing is that wanting to change. If I were to be in a different spot, I've got a brother-in-law doing the same type of business. He started it after he saw how well I was doing with it. And he works in Tennessee. In Tennessee, there's just such a huge market for it, because in Tennessee, people own
massive amounts of land.
Well, no. What happens up in Tennessee is everybody owns 10 acres. So everybody with that amount of land wants their stuff cleared. Down here, everybody owns 1,000 acres. So those people either say, well, I've got this guy who I know can do this stuff, or I only want this amount done. But you go up to Tennessee, everybody needs their stuff cleared because they don't have the equipment to do it, and it's a small plot of land. So that's kind of the best market for it. So basically, if I were to change anything, it would have to be if I was in a different area getting crazy amounts of business. I'd expand, get another piece of equipment, hire someone on. But kind of where I'm at right now, it makes it easy on me where I can keep this one piece of equipment, and as long as I keep it in shape, it doesn't start breaking down all the time, I take good care of it, it'll last long enough to the point where I can make good money with it, and I can choose by the end, say, hey, I can either keep doing what I'm doing, I can get a little bit bigger, or I can try something else. And that's what I'd like to do, to be able to have this business for 5 or 6 years, and by the end of it say, hey, I've made all my money back, and I've paid myself great, but I just need to know if it's worth it to keep going, or if it's time to try a different setup.
Yeah.
So.
Well, only time will tell.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. You can't really tell for right now during the winter time I've slowed down a little bit, but during the summer it's just kind of running and gunning every single day as fast as you can. It's, you know, you still have plenty of work during the winter, but during the summer it just gets crazy. And that you know, I like that. So it's fun for me. But
all right, well, good stuff, man. I think that's gonna wrap it up for tonight.
yeah, sounds
Appreciate
good.
it.
Yeah,
Hey,
definitely.
Longview Land Clearing.
Yeah,
Look these guys up.
Facebook or Instagram.